The coronavirus is not the only health crisis that we're following right now. Lawmakers in 10 states are tired of waiting for the federal government to do something about rising insulin prices. This includes both Kansas and Missouri. Here's KCTV5 investigative reporter Angie Racono.
The reason is simple. Insulin is a lot like EpiPens. The costs keep rising and the pharmaceutical industry is being blamed for price gouging. Now lawmakers in both states say they've had enough.
It just seems so unjust that the reason these families are struggling is because the industry wants to make a buck.
Missouri State Senator Lauren Arthur wants to cap rising insulin prices. She has two bills. One would cap the amount an insured person can pay out of pocket at $100. The other bill would force all rebates and cost savings to be given directly to patients. Believe it or not, right now that's not happening.
Missourians who have sacrificed groceries or paying the electric bill because of the skyrocketing costs of insulin.
They also end up in emergency rooms. We know because we've reported on it.
It's not something that I can choose whether or not to use. I have to use it.
Hattie Saltzman-Melota rationed her insulin and even used her dad's supply because she couldn't afford to pay for her own.
It is imperative to my life. If I don't have it, I die.
It was $550 every month.
I was skipping doses just enough that I knew I would be alive, but I would not be living the best life I could be.
Rationing didn't work.
I could not breathe. Your heart is racing, you have a headache. We had to go to the ER. It was one of the worst days of my life. And I hope I never have to go through that kind of thing again.
This was one of our most watched reports in 2018. Help for Hattie came through heartbreak. Hannah Mills died from cystic fibrosis. She was also diabetic and a fellow church member. So Hannah's family gave Hattie Hannah supplies.
I got like 5 bottles of insulin, which would last me more than through the end of the year.
That is how Hattie survived her copay.
I cannot describe how it feels to pick up an insulin vial that has somebody else's name on it when you know that person is no longer around.
She also paid it forward when she got on a better insurance plan. She began sharing her insulin supply with a young girl named Avery, who also goes to her church. 10% of all Americans are now diabetic, according to the American Diabetes Association. Chances are you may know a friend or family member struggling to afford their insulin.
I did figure out a way to pull the insulin out and put it in my pump.
A recent Yale study revealed 25% of all patients who are prescribed insulin,
when you got to do it, you do it,
admit they ration it due to cost, just like Hattie did.
I've had friends and family members with type 1 diabetes.
Insulin is becoming a bipartisan issue lawmakers say we can no longer ignore.
It makes you want to do everything you can to help those people live a happy, normal life.
Missouri has numerous proposals before lawmakers on insulin. Kansas has a proposal, too, which comes from the Committee for Insurance. That proposal would cap the cost at $100. We'll keep an eye on both of these bills, and in the meantime, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you or a loved one have had to pay for insulin. You can email us at investigate@kctv5.com, and we'll keep checking our social media platforms as well. Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.